it's on!
Good early afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the return of the Disney Parks Talk. It's been a while since we've done this. I think our last one was November 4th. So wow, we got a lot to cover. Sit down, get comfortable.
That was before Disneyland announced all of 2025.
Yeah, it's been a while, but we've covered that on the morning shows. So it's not we don't cover this stuff anymore, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to get started. My name is B. Mosley. I am the co-founder here of Laughing Place. Over there is my wife, Rebecca. How you doing, Rebecca?
Doing well, but cold.
Below her is the person who covers all of Southern California, all of Star Wars, all of Muppets, all of Simpsons. It's amazing he's able to get through everything. Michael Celestino.
Hi.
And next to him, the person who assigned him all this stuff, which just leaves him endlessly overwhelmed, our CEO, the big chief himself, Benjamin Breitbart.
Overwhelmed?
I presume.
You want to do less, Mike? We can save the money.
All right, let's move on.
Nikki B, what specific that are you asking about?
I'm going to go with the face hugger. That just seems to be like waiting to pounce.
Yeah, a lot of that back there.
Before we continue, does anyone have anything to declare today?
I do declare.
Nope. Got nothing.
Usually have Jeremiah here. He always has something to declare.
I do think Disney gave me this Mickey hat at some point, but I don't remember when. Maybe over a year ago.
Yeah. It's a face hugger, Nikki B.
I believe Disney gave me my raison d'etre.
Disney gave me my wife, so I declare her. She's mine. All right, we're going to talk about what's going on in the world of Disney theme parks. I think, a little bit of non-Disney today, but mostly Disney theme parks. We're going to start with a couple of biggies, and that's why we have Benjamin Breitbart on with us today. We're going to start. Oh, how about that sweet thumbnail logo, though? Yeah, that's actually pretty nice. I'm digging those. I'm really digging those. And that is the Disney Treasure. Benji was on the Disney Treasure for the media cruise about a week ago. You think you got off, a week ago today, I think? It was a 3-day.
I got on a week ago today.
Oh, okay. It was a 3-day cruise to Castaway Cay, and mostly to explore the brand new ship. And they did a fantastic job covering it, Benji, Alex, and Jeremiah. But it's nice to have Benji here in person to talk about it. So, Benji, where do you want to start? How about your overall impressions of the Disney Treasure?
So I think it's important to give the context that you can't help but compare a Disney cruise ship to other Disney cruise ships. And when I went on the Wish for the first time, I thought it was beautiful, but the logistics of the ship, the layout, being able to get from point A to point B was very frustrating. And I will say the Disney Treasure has not solved that. We knew it wasn't going to solve that. It's the same ship. And so there's plenty of times when I would be in a space and I'd be like, I want to go down 2 levels right below me, but I can't. I got to go midship or aft and then go downstairs and then walk back. Like I'm a really bad, Tetris player or something. And those problems still exist, but the detail, the operational sort of minor improvements, and what I would say is just the storytelling of the ship, and I'll get into what I mean by that, really made up for some of that. I still am frustrated by some, as I mentioned, but one, the entertainment on the ship, the 3 shows are great. Seas Adventure, which is the one show I like on the Wish, is great. It's a character show, Goofy. The Beauty and the Beast was my favorite show at sea. And then the Moana show, with some slight sort of criticisms, is really good as well. Quite excellent, actually. So the entertainment program is much better. They've really thought of upping the embracing of the theme. So, for example, instead of just having Match Your Mate, it's Match Your Matey because it's themed to adventure, and it's done on Pirate Night. They have a Choose Wisely Indiana Jones show, which is a comedy show, but uses the coriander and sage characters that are kind of your MCs of the ship in many ways. They're often in the Great Hall. They are at the Sail Away celebration, and they're at the Treasures Untold show, which ends the voyage, and just kind of creates this sort of unique experience. It almost felt more Star Cruisy than a cruise ship in that. I mean, it's not. And they're not too different in terms of the experience. They're different. There's not a plot. There's not interactive characters everywhere you go, but there does seem to be sort of a cadence of the voyage that you just don't have on the Wish, because, and I think part of it is the Wish is themed to Fantasyland, right? Castle in the Sky. Well, it just kind of comes across as it's themed to Disney, because Fantasyland is essentially the most Disneyland of them all. But when you try and kind of go to a little bit more specific part of Disney, which is the sort of an action adventure element, the DuckTales element, I think it really plays off well. And then the other thing is the Haunted Mansion Parlor, what you're seeing here. I was disappointed in Hyperspace Lounge. It was just basically, a TV screen with my magic band lighting up every 10 seconds every time a ship flew by. And I thought that's what this was going to be. I thought this was going to be the mirror would have, Haunted Mansion characters come through, and it's so much more in sort of intangible ways. Like, for example, in here you see the fish tank. There's ghost fish in here that are paid tribute to the Museum of the Weird, which was Rolly Crump's concept. And I hope that you can pan over. You'll, you can't pan over. It's a record video. But there's a bust of Rolly Crump, and his wax man, his candle man.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And so it's its own thing. Yes, it plays cues from the attraction, and Madame Leota shows up, but it's definitely has its own thing. And for example, those changing portraits, they don't just change like they do in the attraction. Sometimes like a storm comes in and they kind of wash away to reveal the sort of ghostly version behind. And I also thought the execution was perfect, whereas it's not constantly like a show, but there's moments. So you can still enjoy it as a lounge. And Scott Gustin here is showing off some of the drinks. And I was told that the alcoholic drinks, actually, many of them don't taste quite good, but they have these sodas, these sugar-free sodas that when you turn them over and put a light on it, it has this ghastly glow. And it's nice as a non-drinker. I don't have a moral thing against it. I just don't like the taste of alcohol. But it's nice to have something kind of that I can enjoy and felt special in this place. So I really thought that this exceeded expectations because my expectations were so low from Hyperspace Lounge.
To that point, I'm going back to your original topic of the design kind of aspects of the blueprint per se. Let's say blueprint. I know when the Wish first started, Hyperspace Lounge was a challenge for entry because it was a very small footprint. It would seem that this also has a small footprint. Do we anticipate that you're going to see kind of a similar dynamic with it when it launches, where you're doing that pre-registered thing, or is there any talk of that?
I don't know how they're going to operationalize it. I don't think they were ready to kind of put themselves in a box on them. But I will say, I imagine, especially during those high affinity cruises, the inaugural cruise and those first couple, it will probably be pretty busy. I don't know, on our cruise, which was nowhere near full, it was busy, but then you could get in at night, like late at night. It was not a problem, but it's a different guest mix. It's a different capacity. It's hard to tell. I'm looking, I know Hyperspace Lounge kind of became a ghost town as time went on. So, but this is obviously, no pun intended. This is obviously a major upgrade from Hyperspace Lounge, and a franchise that matters a lot more to most guests. So I think this will be, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
I have seen multiple reports that they are and plan to enact a 45-minute time limit on the Haunted Mansion Parlor on the Disney.
Okay.
Yeah, I did hear that they were going to try and do a time limit. I don't know how they're going to enforce that, or what if there's a check-in kind of system like they had at. But I think they're aware of how cool it is. They're not going to be flat-footed on it.
Some of the things that I really enjoyed seeing were the collection of art that they opted to present throughout the ship. For example, I noticed some Indiana Jones was presented, and then within the carpeting, they had like the Simba icon in some portions, and they had the little Nemo. He had his adventure, and then beautiful images of Agrabah. I really appreciated the choices, I guess, is what I'm saying. Even within like 1923, the artwork that was selected for the Roy versus the Walt side. Some fun stuff. You had reaching into Rescuers and Robin Hood.
Well, and even on the front side where the display cases that before you enter, where they kind of pay tribute to Walt and Roy, they had things like, recreation of that Mickey Mouse plush that you see in the picture of him on the ship. I mean,
Okay.
And his hat and stuff like that. That kind of, I mean, it's very deep cuts, but I like deep cuts because I'm a Disney fan.
So this
Well,
is
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doobie. I was just going to point out one more deep cut, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I finally learned. So we go to the Disney Family Museum. I have this picture of Gideon, and thanks to the cruise, look, it was when he was leaning on the banister of the QE. So there you go.
That's cool. So this is the 7th Disney ship, right? And not if you don't count the big red boat.
I would count this as the 6th Disney
6th.
ship.
Goodness, that's so far. The 6th Disney ship. Well, I was counting the big red boat, actually. And so all the prior Disney ships, I'm trying to recall even one piece of entertainment that was specifically themed to that ship, as opposed to just that could have been pretty easily put on any of the ships. And I can't really come up with anything.
Well, and that's the one thing that I mean, they had those sort of enchanted storybook tellers on the Wish, but I don't think it came across as the same because there's
that could have been on the Dream or the Magic. It's
But that's what I thought. I obviously I went on the Magic and the Wonder, and yes, there's slight differences, but there's slight differences. I went on the Dream and the Fantasy, and once again, there's slight differences. The adult area is themed differently, but that's the extent of it. And the ships have diversified a bit as time has gone on. But this is the first time when I went, okay, this isn't just, swapping out the district for, Europa or whatever they call it on the Fantasy. This is a big change.
Yeah.
And it made me more excited for the Destiny than I was anticipating, because it's going to I hope it feels like this, where it feels like its own thing. It's its own experience. It's not the equivalent of going to, sort of, I would say like Magic Kingdom and Tokyo Disneyland, where it's like they were built basically at the same time using same blueprints. It's just a little different. Like these are very different experiences.
Which makes me glad that they did the Wish first, because then that makes this kind of a surprise. Like, wow, they really are, because when it was the same footprint, I feel like they really played down. It felt like they were saying, look, guys, don't get excited. This is just going to be a different ship. I mean, the same ship with a different overlay. And it's not. They've really made this its own ship. This being another example. They have a Jungle Cruise entertainment in the atrium in the Grand Hall, where you're like sitting on a Jungle Cruise boat, and there's nothing like this on another ship, and it really wouldn't fit on another ship in the same way that it does on the Treasure. So I really, like you said, so excited for the Destiny. I really love how it's like, okay, we've done all the creativity for the layout. Now let's put all the creativity in what's actually on the ship. And I love that so much. And does that even extend to like the funnel suite?
No. That seemed to Epcot. I don't get it. It felt like they were going to build a Tomorrowland themed ship and decided against it because that would be silly. And then they're like, oh, but we already did designs for Epcot, so here you go. I will say regarding the entertainment, I don't know where. Obviously, these shows have been in development for years, but the new head of Disney Signature Experiences Entertainment came from Meow Wolf. And so she's very focused on sort of experiences beyond, theatrical. Obviously, she can do theatrical settings, but that's not, what I thought was interesting about this ship was there was entertainment in weird places. Not necessarily, and it seems like there's more of that coming. So without sort of revealing our reporting before we're ready to reveal our reporting, but yeah, I mean, you get great looks of Jeremiah that you don't get on the Wish.
Right, yeah, to show something. They have a new show.
This is the Curse of the Golden Egg, which once again is a custom show for the ship. It's I presume it will roll out to the other ships, but it was designed purposefully for the adventure.
Did you get to do it?
Nope, designed for the Treasure, which theme is adventure, but not the adventure, which is a different ship.
Which is its Destiny. Did you get to experience this?
I did not. So they were. Do we want to go inside LP a little bit here? they were not prepared for people wanting to ride this new show. They thought it was too similar to what they had on the Wish, and they thought we'd all wouldn't care. They were wrong. So they made that note for the Destiny. But yeah, it was very difficult to be able to get Jeremiah to get this shot here.
And one more thing I wanted to make sure I show, just because it makes Rebecca feel uneasy. What do you think of the Periscope Pub?
I like it.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't know if this is about the fact you're underwater. It's theming. I mean, I'm not. I understand. I'm not actually drowning. I'm not that insane that I can't figure out what's going on. It's just a decor.
It feels claustrophobic whenever I've been looking at the footage. But
what I mean, it just. I mean, maybe the fact that you can see outside the open windows and see the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's an enclosed space. I mean, it might look that way in this shot, but those portholes on the side are all open. Like, you know, you're not underwater. They're not it's not immersive. It's just
except at night. At night, you never know. Mike,
you do know the ship is not sunk.
By the way, Tony Betty pointing out that the cruise line website currently reads that the golden egg will be exclusive to the treasure.
Yeah, I think it will be for a period of time.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying currently that's what the official word is out there. So,
but hey, Tony, since you're on the website, do you know, is the Destiny going to have an official, its own exclusive? What do you call it?
I want to ask Benji kind of a head-to-head. Can I do that, Doobie?
I just wanted to get Mike it real quick. Mike,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I know you were most excited about the Haunted Mansion parlor. Having seen what you've seen now, has that upped your excitement or tempered it?
Yes, it definitely has. And much like Benji was saying earlier, even though I am kind of the Star Wars guy here, if I had to pick one to check out, I might have to go with the Haunted Mansion, because it just looks that much cooler.
Having done the Star Wars, you made the right decision, because it's fine, but this place looks spectacular. Okay, go ahead, Rebecca.
Tony popping back in saying it will be themed to the villain's art showing Mickey, Minnie, and Chernabog.
Cool. I can't wait to do it.
So I'm curious, since you've been on the Wish, kind of head to head, like Nightingales versus Scat Cat.
Scat Cat.
Yeah.
I mean, Scat Cat just feels. Nightingales is nice, but it feels a little understated. I mean, it feels. Whereas Scat Cat feels like I'm walking into Scat Cat's lounge. I mean, just the vibe of it just feels very jazzy. And they opened it up a little bit, so it's kind of they have sort of an outdoor bar to it too. I would say it's kind of the transit. They were very intentional about transitioning it from the Agrabah themed Great Hall to Scat Cat, but it is still a transition. I mean, obviously,
right?
It doesn't take place in Agrabah, but yeah, in the Hidden Rockford, and I just rewatched the Aristocats. That is the most forgettable film Disney has ever made, but I just love the vibe of it.
Yeah, really. I love the fact that they went, instead of Hidden Mickey, they went Hidden Roquefort, and so that is adorable. So what about like Tiana the Bayou versus Skipper the Jungle Cruise?
Skipper Society, I think. And I'm not a huge Jungle Cruise fan, but there's just more detail. I just think it's a more beautiful space. The aesthetic is better. Bayou just kind of felt like a kind of a. How do I put this? It just felt very generic, whereas Skipper Society has an identity and it has this beautiful artwork along the stage. I just really enjoy woodwork.
One of the things that was kind of a little frustrating with the Bayou was you kind of almost sometimes felt like you were in Grand Central Station. Like you'd be trying to be enjoying kind of what was going on there, but there was this constant through of traffic. Is that still something that the venue wrestles with?
Yeah, I would say it's a themed space, but it's not. I don't want. They're both attractions. I would not equate Haunted Mansion Parlor at all with its immersive environment to basically a themed general lounge.
Gotcha.
That I don't want to overdo the expectations, and they didn't either. They knew that it wasn't that kind of space.
Cool.
This is Scat Cat. I forgot to do my job while you were talking, so we don't have one for the Skipper Society.
Yeah, because there's not.
What was your favorite thing you ate on the ship?
It's a good question. Probably the enchiladas at Plaza de Coco.
Oh,
really enjoyed that.
The menu at Coco looked really tasty. The beef birria is something I really enjoy. So I'm excited to try that. I'm a little intimidated by this particular choice. It feels one of the challenges I had with the dining experiences on the Wish was I find the Arendelle celebration to be a bit cacophonous for my enjoyment of food. And I feel like this will also suffer from a similar fate. So I'm eager to try it someday.
So there's two. You're there 2 nights. Obviously, it's a 7-night cruise. The first night is a little bit more low key. It's more sedate. Is my understanding. I didn't experience it, but you don't have the village. The Land of the Dead doesn't come. They only sing one song from the movie. It's just basically a mariachi. I don't want to say basically. It is more of a mariachi band just providing atmosphere entertainment. And then the second night is when they do the full show, which I still say is a little it's hard to compare because there's quiet moments of both and there's louder moments of both. But that's more of the show with where Hector and Mama Imelda show up, and it's a little bit more than the first night. But I do like that they give you sort of 2 different versions of that space, so you can kind of segue into it and kind of provide you a journey, on the voyage, which I think is nice.
Do they have like a animatronic Dante that they wheel throughout the room?
There's not an audio animatronic Dante. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's not an audio animatronic.
Okay.
Fair enough. That's all for your head-to-head?
And there's actually, and unlike Arendelle, I don't believe I know they didn't like walk the room or anything. It was more focused on the stage.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, Sarabe versus Luna.
I don't know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Okay, and then it's still Wonderland and Neverland theaters, right?
Right.
That's unchanged.
Correct.
Okay.
The pool deck is largely unchanged.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't spend much time on it, but yeah, it's basically the same.
Marceline.
I can't compare Jumbo Suites to whatever it is on is it the Inside Out on the?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do like the sort of decor. Just like the carpet, the elevator buttons are a lot better on the Treasure.
Cool. If you want to hear Benji talk even more about the Treasure, I think over an hour, you actually did a podcast with the DCL duo last week that I listened to the entire thing. Very enjoyable, very in-depth. So I invite you to go check that out, the DCL duo. Probably
had they gone on the media cruise as well? The DCL duo?
They had not.
They didn't get invited. It's their name.
I think they're on there now, right?
They just got off. They did the cruise. Those 2 cruises after us.
Yeah.
But, did you want to talk about World of Marvel at
all? Sure. Go ahead. Well, let me just finish. So go check out the DCL duo. They're probably the top.
Oh, that was the other head-to-head I should have done. Was World of Marvel stories? Yeah. Wish versus Treasure.
Once again, you get the classic show on night 1, and they have a night 2. Night 2 is much more sedate. It's not, you're not saving the world here. It's very different. But what I like about it is those quantum cores, which are basically pointless on night 1. During night 2, while whatever's happening is happening, they have a trivia game on. So each of the 4 buttons on the quantum core lights up a different color, and you click the button of the right answer. And it doesn't keep score. Like, you don't feel bad if you missed one. It's not like that. It's just sort of like, as a diversion. And so it actually makes those things, it'll go green if you're right or red if you're wrong. And then you hit another button until you get it right. So I think it was just a fun way to actually make it interactive as opposed to theoretically interactive like the other show was.
The most important question, how do you know the forward motion of the ship?
If you want to go forward, follow the fish, at least on my floor. Just follow, they swim up. I think Simba faces forward as well.
These things, like one of the big things with the Wish was, not big thing, but one of the small things with the Wish, they actually cut back on the amount of storage in the room. And some people wondered maybe they would improve that since these are 7-day cruises. Did you see any change in that?
I wouldn't notice. I mean, we were only there for 3 days. I still had the space under the bed. There was closets. We were in a Category 4A stateroom. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but yeah, I mean, there was 3 of us there comfortably.
Okay.
I mean, we obviously had kids, so we weren't, have all the stuff, but we were not want for space. I can't compare it to the Wish. I just don't remember.
How's the charging situation?
So I found one USB-C. So they gave us magic bands, and so we could each rotate charging our magic band. But the rest were USB-A. So the rest were USB-C. Now USB-C is the future. I get it, but you would think that they would change their magic band chargers to accommodate the chargers in the room.
Anything else you want to mention about the treasure?
I can't think of anything. I want to thank Disney for hosting us, but also not so much that, but more so just being there to answer questions and kind of sharing the story of the ship. It's so much easier when you can have people there who built it. So at least, you may not always agree with every decision, but there's always a reason that decision was made. So
speaking of questions, one more thing I wanted to say. You got to interview the head of Disney Cruise Lines while you were on there. You're pretty good at just getting a sense of people. So what did you think of that interview?
It's interesting because, it used to be there was like a president of Disney Cruise Line, like Tom McAlpin, Carl Holtz. Well, she's a senior vice president who reports to Thomas Maslam, head of Disney Signature Experiences. So she's not as public. She hasn't been as public facing as others have been in the past. But she's been with Disney a very long time, and she was very intentional in making sure that we knew that there was a vision behind this. It's not an accident that treasure is something different. That they wanted to do, as they diversify with new ports of call, they wanted to also diversify with new types of ships. And so while obviously there's economies of building two ships that are structurally the same, they wanted to not just have it be as similar to the Disney Magic and Wonder. I mean, if you remember, the Magic was built in two pieces. So then when they built the Wonder, which was built in one piece, they went back and put a fake seam in it so it would be that similar, which is not something, that's a bit of a culture change for them.
That's hilarious. Cool. Well, thank you for that. Benji actually wrote a review of the ship, which I thought was a great idea. So you can go check that out on Laughing Place. We're going to talk to Benji about another debut that happened last weekend. But before we do that, let us go ahead and bring Mike Celestino into this a little bit and let him talk about a couple of things going on. First of all, anything at the Disneyland Resort you want to talk about before we get to a couple of the outside resorts, the resort things you did recently?
I haven't been to Disneyland in a couple weeks. I think that's going to be on pause until the beginning of the new year. Kind of letting the holiday season happen now, I think, until we head back there.
Those annual pass magic keys that they have there, even the top tier cannot go 365 days a year, which is just amazing. All right, so a couple of things you got to do recently. A jolly holiday on the lot with D23. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I drove the very long 3 miles down Buena Vista Street to the Disney Studios lot, famous lot where Walt Disney had his office, and got to experience a jolly holiday on the lot, which used to be called Light Up the Season. And I think I did that once or twice before, and it was a lot of fun. It really got me into the holiday spirit pretty well. They did a really nice job decorating.
Your heart grew 2 sizes that day.
Yeah, it really did. The decorations were great. A lot of characters walking around in holiday garb and doing meet and greets, and there were shopping booths and kiosks and lots of different food, both complimentary and available for purchase. There were games, there were trivia contests, there were, Toys for Tots had an area set up for a drive with the Marine Corps were there representing them. And just generally, a lot of D23 members came out for this, and everybody seemed to be having a really good time. I was a little disappointed that the theater wasn't accessible to guests, because I think the last time I went, they had screenings going on in there. I remember watching the Muppets Christmas Carol and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special in the theater, and I just thought that was one of my favorite elements. I don't know why.
Have they finished the I know it's under a massive refurbishment.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
It might not be done. That might be why.
Okay.
But I don't know that it might be done, but there haven't been screenings in there for some time.
Gotcha.
I'm going to take over, Doobie, because some of the stuff I enjoyed from your tweets, Mike, was this collection of costuming. Yeah,
so this was an event advertised as an event exclusive display of the Walt Disney Archives, costumes from the archives. They're all holiday themed from both the theme parks and Disney movies. This is Noelle. You might
Yeah.
recall Anna Kendrick from the movie
And
Noelle.
this
I
is
don't
from
recall what this one.
that Nutcracker film, as I
Nutcracker, right.
recall, as well.
For those of
But
you that forgot that movie existed.
I
You can
really
go read my negative
love this.
review of that film.
I missed this reindeer. I was happy to see it. And then I also enjoyed your photos of the partner statue in a holiday form, along with the Dopey with the giant hat on his head. He's so cute.
Yeah, that's the Team Disney building. I don't think I tweeted it, but it's in the post. Roy and Minnie are also
Oh wow!
decked out in their Santa hats and red scarves.
So you also got had a Donald Duck sighting, and I just have to know, because you famously only like Grumpy Donald, but he's very jovial Donald here. When meeting and greeting, or do you still wish that he was cantankerous?
It's rare to meet angry Donald in the parks or at an event like this. I remember doing an interview once where I actually said that to Donald. I was like, Donald, do you ever get angry in the park? And he was able to. This is a Donald that was able to close his eyes, and he did kind of his like fighting pose, you see Donald do, and then that made me very, very happy.
Very cool.
So Roy and Minnie, you mentioned. Roy looks a little happier than Donald.
Aww.
Okay.
That's precious too.
That's interesting.
And there was an adults-only bar area where you could get some alcoholic beverages.
That's a bummer. Why didn't they open it up to children?
There were food trucks, and there's a big slide. You could also eat in the commissary there. That was pay to eat in the commissary, or there was free stuff being distributed, like cotton candy and popcorn and cookies and that kind of thing.
Cool. And this was for D23 members. Was there a cost for this, or just get signed up as fast as you can?
There was a cost.
All right. Well,
Doobie, why are you so grinchy when it comes to this?
First, this is what I'm talking about. First, they say, you know what? Let's make Walt an audio animatronic, and we're like, no, that's a bad idea. And okay, fine, maybe that's okay. Now it's let's make Walt a mannequin and dress him up for the season. What's next? I think we're going down a slippery slope here. Let Walt be Walt, and not just This is all I'm saying. Maybe it's my opinion only.
Wow, he was so grinchy about this bed. When I showed him this picture, he was like, no.
We've been doing this for years.
I don't like it. Walt is.
It's not like he's wearing it's not like he's wearing like a jersey for the Super Bowl champion. He's wearing a Santa hat.
Which they would do the other two. This is how
they don't do the other two. I know for a fact it took an act of Congress to get that approved.
This approved?
Yes.
Oh, that's comforting, because I feel like this. You know what? Let's just put a scarf on Walt and see what happens.
I love how Gio's concerned about Mickey's other ear.
Oh, I also want to say our friends at Roosevelt's had a booth at this event, and I ended up buying one of the Muppet Christmas Carol shirts. So it cost me money to go to.
Breaking news: LPers actually pay for Roosevelt sometimes.
Yeah.
Was it this one, Mike? The red and
No, I wanted the deeper cut of the third one there, which is just the four spirits.
Nice.
Or I guess five if you count both the Marley brothers.
Very cool. Very cool.
And then you also got to do another event.
Robert Marley, get it?
Yeah.
No. This one at the El Capitan.
Yeah. So this was this past Friday.
Hold up. What, Doobie? What's your opinion of putting a Santa hat on Homer Simpson?
I would even put like a Walt hat on Homer Simpson. I think that's perfectly acceptable. Perfectly acceptable. Homer Simpson. Yeah, never mind. Go ahead.
I do think these.
I'd rather see it on Marge, though. I think that'd be pretty hilarious.
I think these statues were made when the Simpsons movie came out, like 16 years ago.
Oh my!
These must have been in storage somewhere, and then they put that hat on them.
Spider Pig.
Remember when they turned that 7-Eleven by Disney World to a Quickie Mart?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We had one here. We had one in LA too. But yeah, this past Friday was the world premiere of the new Simpsons holiday special for Disney Plus entitled "Oh Come On All Ye Faithful." And it was a fun event. This one I don't think we did pay for. I think this was included in the Disney Disney D23 Gold membership.
James Bond membership, yes.
Yes. There were complimentary snacks and drinks, and
Gold member is not James Bond.
they did have the Quickie Mart set up where they were giving out swag bags and donuts.
Gold member is Austin Powers, isn't it? Okay. Sorry, my mistake.
I see where you're going with that. And then, yeah, in the theater, they had the standees of all the characters inside there. There's the donuts. Yeah.
That looks really good. Was that something you could get to eat?
I can't eat that, but Tori, my wife,
sorry,
did
yes.
have a couple of them.
This motivated me. I brought in donuts this morning because I was like, "Oh, donuts!"
Oh, that was you?
Oh,
thank you.
really?
They were
I
the good
didn't
stuff
get
too. This wasn't like the cheap stuff. He went to the nice place down the street.
Oh, I want a donut.
They're gone now.
Booey.
This is the popcorn bucket.
Aw, I love it.
Cool.
My favorite thing was that you got to hear the Simpsons on the organ.
Yes, Rob Richards of the El Capitan Theater. He's the organist at the El Cap.
The most famous back in all of Disneydom.
Yep. And you can see that full video. Mike did a great job of capturing it from the balcony there at the El Cap. We've got it here on our YouTube channel. That and an introduction by a team of creatives. Mike, I didn't catch who it was.
As the Simpsons creator, Matt Groening, the current showrunner, Matt Selman, and writer Carolyn Omine, I think is how you say her name.
Very cool.
She's the one who wrote the special, and she had a really touching introduction. Actually, it's a nice like 10-minute intro they did after the Simpsons theme. So, yeah, check that out. I think it comes out tonight on Disney Plus at midnight.
Pull back up the pictures, Judy. Show the ones of all the characters in the orchestra stuff.
Yeah.
That was cute.
This one?
Yeah, that's where you were. Yeah. They were up in like the opera boxes and down on either side of the stage too. So really cute.
Neat event. D23 does lots of cool events. Lots of fun events. All right, we're going to get back to more cool stuff that Benji got to do. But before we do, I was remiss in not mentioning the Disney Treasure, of course, is taking bookings right now.
Yes.
As is the Disney Destiny and the Disney Adventure, which is a whole different beast, setting sail in Asia. And we always like to remind people to check out our travel partner, mousefantravel.com. If you are booking any of these or just a simple Disneyland or Disney World trip, Aulani, pretty much any Disney destination, we always recommend you use a Disney travel partner because there's no reason not to. And we easily recommend Mouse Fan Travel as our preferred partner because we've worked with Becky for a long time, almost 15 years maybe. And they do a great job over at Mouse Fan Travel. Have no trouble recommending them. Any issues you have, they can take care of, save you a lot of headache. On the phone, sometimes save you money. If prices go down, they'll make sure you get the discount. In fact, we recently did an article that you might want to check out, 6 reasons why you should use a travel agent to book your Disney Treasure voyage, and just lays out some reasons why you might want to consider, why you should consider using a Disney travel agent. I mean, I can't say unequivocally you should use Mouse Fan Travel. That's up to you. I can say unequivocally you should use a Disney travel agent. There's just no reason not to. And of course, we do recommend Mouse Fan Travel and our friends over there. Okay, let's get over to what exactly is this place called, Benji?
What are we talking about?
Polly.
Polly.
Oh, Island Tower at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort and Bungalows.
Rolls right off the tongue. Okay, that officially opens tomorrow, I believe, and you got a preview. You even got to stay there. Talk.
I like it. You know, there's been a lot of talk about how that tower fits within the skyscape of the Seven Seas Lagoon. And I'll say when you are there, you don't notice because you can't see the skyscape when it's in front of you. And that being said, I thought it was quite beautiful. I mean, there's no lobby per se. I mean, now that everything's digital, they have cast members with tablets. I'm sure if you needed something, something more difficult than that, they have a way to handle it. But you just walk in, and all you do is you see through the lobby, and you see out into the Seven Seas Lagoon, and it's beautiful. And they have these what the terrace gardens. There's one of them. There's two facing each side. So there's two facing Seven Seas Lagoon, and there's two of them on the other side are facing construction. And you just, they're probably great view place. Actually, there are great places to watch fireworks. I did watch fireworks from here. It does. One thing I will say is because of these, the resort's under lockdown. So you have to actually have a key card to get up. So I would not recommend using the mobile key option on your phone, just because that can be a little clunky when you're trying to get up, and you don't want to be the jerk who can't get the phone thing to work on the elevator when you might not have a strong signal. So I would recommend either a Magic Band or getting a key card for this resort. But yeah, I really liked it. The Disney's very subtle but beautiful. Sustainability is very important to this project. So 80% of the carpet is actually made from sea waste. The kitchen is all electric.
That's okay. That's sanitary.
Well, it's cleaned.
Okay, move on.
It's not yeah. So it's I quite liked it. So you can even see here, this is there's different levels of decor because they wanted to mirror the longhouses, which are 3 stories of longhouse and then a 3-story roof. So they wanted to kind of bifurcate this building to kind of match it. Now, obviously, it does not match in terms of style the longhouses, but they were really leaning into the fact that originally there was going to be a tower at the Polynesian Village Resort, and so they this is sort of they're saying finally building upon that original vision. But if you see, it feels like a spa. It feels like I think at some point we'll get into the bathroom here, but it is, you go in there and it's just a beautiful bathtub. You look out. You got a great view. You have a theme park view. You have the pull down bed, which has sort of become a staple, but it just is such a relaxing space in a way that the Contemporary just never could be, just with that sort of cacophony. And I will say we walked over to now. There's only one dining location, sort of a casual table service. They do have mobile order to go. So you really have to go to Great Ceremony House to get more options, which felt like a refugee camp. There were people everywhere. It was a nasty experience. So I would recommend too, if you have the mobility for it and the patience for it, if you're going to go to Magic Kingdom, I would walk. You can just the walkway through the Grand Floridian to Magic Kingdom, is quite lovely. If you need to use monorail at the end of the day, or if you a walk is not appropriate for you, that's fine. There is still the monorail that's just feet away, but it can get very busy.
Is that a shorter walk?
Adding guests to the monorail line without adding monorail, right? So
is that a shorter walk than from the ship to Lighthouse Point?
And the food I had here, so this is actually that artwork you saw there was ghost nets. So that's nets that have been stranded in the ocean, so they turned into artwork. But I really enjoyed this dining location, Wailulu Grill, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah, bar and grill. Yeah,
it was fun. It was. There's almost nothing to compare. It almost has a Harpstone Lounge vibe. More of a limited menu than they may have, but just very chill.
It looks very chill, and I love how it seems to be on the water and just very open and white and clean. And I don't know, this looks like a very nice place just to spend a couple hours relaxing in between theme park visits.
Yeah, I wish there were a few more amenities, just so you didn't have to go to the Great Ceremony House, which is the opposite of chill. But
Jeremiah was adventurous and tried the burger.
That burger though, I don't blame you. Cannot. I had the burger too, and it looked so good that
it has onion jam. Walt Disney World onion jam. You cannot pass onion jam at Walt Disney World when you have the opportunity. By the way, that picture that you shared, Doobie, it's kind of wild because that's Olani. And it just, the way that when you zoom in on it, rather than within the total, whatever, it.
Oh my.
It looks very similar when you zoom in on the tower.
Yeah, it really does.
Isn't that weird?
So wait, this picture you're showing is Alani?
Yes, and then this is your picture.
Wow.
Isn't that wild? I mean, it's just the kind of the ornate roofing that really, differentiates, which is a big deal, by the way. I wish that it had this, because then to me it would reflect better the ceremonial house of the Poly. But just looking at the balconies themselves, I was immediately struck by how visually similar the balcony railings were to the other. Sorry, it just was one of those things that like hit me.
Funny story. I'm interviewing the architect, and he goes like, "Well, because of where this place was, we built everything modularly for this." And I was like, and he goes like, "Oh, you get what that means." I was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, totally." Like, and I was like, "He's like, yeah, it was a neat way to pay your tribute." I was like, "Oh."
But yeah, no, the food looked really good. They had
like modularly.
You guys tried all. I mean, you guys all ate the burger, but I mean, you said they had mac salad, which is like
the spam thing. I liked too. The spam. And then the.
Did you get to try the pineapple coconut bread? What is it's a pineapple coconut bread. I guess it's like it says available for breakfast only.
I didn't. I had it at breakfast. Yeah, it was good. But it was not. We didn't eat there. They had it at the sort of breakfast they had. We didn't eat it in the location though. So.
And I want to try the Pog daiquiri. That sounds yummy to me.
I had the 0% pina colada. Which
that's Doobie's kind of drink.
Do you like pina colada?
It wasn't raining though.
Awesome. All right. So that is say it one more time.
Island Tower at Disney's Polynesian Villas and Bungalows.
It is a DVC resort, but of course DVCs can be booked by non-DVC people as well. So again, Mouse Fan Travel, if you're interested in checking out this new place, it looks really cool. I hope I can get over there and check it out. As Jeremiah reminded us this morning, if you want to go eat there, the restaurant is open to everyone. Just park at the Magic Kingdom and make your life easy, because you may not be able to park at the Poly, but it's a very short walk from the Magic Kingdom, at least, compared to walking to Lighthouse Point. All right, let's get on to a couple of other Disney World things. Mike Celestino said we're going to come back to the West Coast in a moment, but let us first go to some news that actually broke not too long before our show began, and that is that the Astro Orbiter, that's not it, but that is, the Astro Orbiter at the Magic Kingdom at Tomorrowland is going to be closing for a lengthy refurb starting on January 13th, and there is no end in sight, but believed to be sometime in the summer.
They say summer.
Yeah, going to be closing reopening at some point in the summer.
I think I have that shirt that guy's wearing.
Oh,
I think
really?
that's a Mr. Toad shirt that I have.
Is that you?
It's not me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow.
That's because that's not a publicity image. I mean, unless they really felt the need to showcase the top of Merchant of Venus.
By the way, Google Maps doesn't know that you can walk from the Polynesian to the Grand Floridian.
Well, you can't today. Oh,
I was just looking.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you can tomorrow. It's close.
Tomorrow you can.
Was that Benji in the?
I'm going to check again tomorrow and see if they know now that you can.
I would not be a bet if I. Oh, one thing we should say about the Poly, actually Disney Resorts in general, you can now log into your Disney Plus account on your TV.
But will it log you out reliably?
I would presume so because it does have your name on there, but I don't care. Someone can watch some Disney Plus on me.
Well, but I'm more worried about if you try to log in and there's too many logins.
Oh, that would be fun. Someone hijacks your Disney Plus and you can't log in your own account. You think you're password sharing?
I don't think you can change your password. You could just.
That'd be great. Show you already logged in Orlando. You can't fool us.
Exactly.
It's like when Disney Visa called me for suspicious activity at Disney World. I was like, what about my life and credit history says that purchasing something at Disney World would be suspicious activity?
Wait.
What is Kyle talking about?
Kyle, is that Benji?
That's not.
Is that what you're trying to tell us? That this is a picture that our team took and that's Ben? Or are you being
that shirt?
Clever and fun?
That is not Benji.
No, that's not me.
Doesn't seem to be Benji to me.
Well, Benji has never ridden the Astro Orbiter, so it can't be Benji.
That is true, actually.
Really?
I've launched it.
Why are you never ridden? How have you never ridden the Astro Orbiter?
I
Wow.
Because I used to work it and I know better. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, don't even. I tried to ride it once. I got up to the gantry and then I'm like, no, this is a bad idea. And just went.
He's scared because of his height, his fear of height.
Yeah, no, that's why I didn't ride it when I was a kid. I was afraid of it.
Fear of the rocket
Wow.
flying off into space, dude.
Wow, you people.
Right.
Interesting. Have you ridden it, Celestino, Mike?
Definitely at Disneyland. I don't know about Magic Kingdom. Maybe when I was a kid.
Wow.
I'll ride Disneyland's now. The old one is a little tougher, but the one now, no problem.
I'll be honest, Kyle. When I saw it, I thought it was our buddy Jeff Lang.
Yeah, too much
That's
hair.
why I thought it was our pal Jeff Lang from Mouse Steps.
Moving on.
Moving on, we've got dates for the 30th anniversary. Can you believe it's been 30 years of the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival? March 5th to June 2nd, 2025. It includes obviously the cool gardens and flowers, all the great food, and the Garden Rocks concert series, which includes, among others, Air Supply 50th anniversary celebration, Herman's Hermit starring Peter Noon, and everyone's favorite, Jesse's Girl, Rick Springfield. So festival season will always continue at Epcot. All right, Mike, you ready? Oh, one more thing. Did you get to see Benji, the New Awakenings over at Animal Kingdom?
No, because they were doing a press event, so they just far away from that for whatever reason.
Why would they want you to see that? Well, the projection show at Animal Kingdom, which they put this stuff in with the 50th, right? But happily they've kept it going. Awakenings, Tree of Life, where they do projections and music, is now running. It started on Friday. It features both the animated and live action Lion King and includes the new song from Mufasa sung by Anika Noni Rose, the name of which I did not write down, so I apologize.
Malele, right?
Yes, nice going. Pretty. The Awakening's just kind of cool. The first time I saw it, I was a little underwhelmed, but I think I just had wrong expectations. But now, whenever we pass by and kind of see it, it's really neat. Nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a pass by, want to see it kind of like.
Yeah.
Not the opening day, wait 30 minutes for it kind of thing, but yeah.
Which is all right, Mike Celestino, you wanted to talk, as you should, about Grinchmas.
I have a quick question really quickly about Herman's Hermits.
Yes.
Why is it called starring Peter Noon if he was an original member of the band, as Wikipedia tells me?
I don't know.
I think it's because he doesn't own, usually when there's a band, they do this a lot. It's like Starship featuring, I think it's because if not everyone's in it, they have to disclose that okay, it is this guy from it, because he doesn't have full ownership of the name Hermits.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Two of the others are Tommy DiCarlo, who didn't he used to be head of merchandise at Disneyland, a former lead singer of Boston, and I feel like that's how he has to be billed every time. And Jason Sheff, longtime singer of Chicago.
Well, it's a super group.
Grinchmas.
You asked about the parks earlier, and I had forgotten that a week and a half ago. I went down to Universal Studios Hollywood. We were invited there for this to check out this year's Grinchmas happenings in Universal Plaza, which is the central area of the upper lot part of that theme park. And they do this every year, but it changes up a little bit each time. And I did get to talk with the Grinch while I was there, and I got to meet the dog Max. But it's mostly, there he is. There's Max.
Benji perks up,
looking thrilled as always.
I love it.
It's a lot of it's a lot of fun foods and shows and characters. You can also mail a postcard to the Grinch and tell him what good deeds you've done. There's my interview with the Grinch right there.
We actually played a little bit of this in the morning show, but let's go ahead and play that little bit again here.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Good morning, Mr. Grinch.
Oh, well, good morning to you. What's your name?
My name's Mike.
Your name's Mike? All right.
Yes.
Come over here.
How are you today?
Terrible.
Oh.
Thank you for asking.
Well,
And now we know what Nelson Peltz has been up to.
Poor Nelson sitting around trying to watch the show.
Yeah, I'm sure.
By the way, Doobie, Tom retired from Michael's 9 years ago. 9. That's so. Not only are you referencing someone who was not with Disney like for decades, but he's even retired from his, I think it was executive VP.
Well, I'm glad he got to finish out his career at Michael's. Didn't have to bounce around. He was like one of the nicest execs we've ever had to deal with. He was fantastic.
He was very friendly to the fans, which was appreciated back then.
All right. All right, Mike, if you think of anything else, let us know. Fort Wilderness, which is just so cool. I mean, if you go to Disney World and you've never been to Fort Wilderness to check out how the guests can bring the magic, go check it out sometime. They had. Did you go there on this trip?
I stayed there. No, I didn't stay there, but we had a whole evening there. We went on a sleigh ride through.
Oh. And they even got Hoop to Do. I didn't know that they had holiday tunes in Hoop to Do. It was very cute.
Yeah, that was news to me too, so that was nice.
Was it your tweet that shared Home for the Holidays and had the clever? Are they referring to your DVC?
Yep.
That was a sweet tweet.
Can you hear that? No, you can't. Now you can. So cool. Hoop to Do is cool, but the best part is the way that all of the all of the decorations done by the guests around there as they decorate their campsite.
Oh, super awesome.
Really awesome. So yeah, if you get a chance, take some time to check out Fort Wilderness, especially if you go in Halloween time or Christmas time.
I don't know if it reads, but those are popcorn buckets.
Those are great for home decor.
Wow, that is cool.
No, those are wonderful for decor. You can just grab a battery operated twinkle light thing and throw it in a popcorn bucket and set them up around your house, and you get some nice like luminaria type dynamic. It's pretty cool. Those aren't just buckets, by the way. He's also got mugs.
I like how you just expect everyone to may have a cultural for a holiday show that ran for 6 weeks, 1 year at DCA. But yeah, sure.
Best entertainment DCA's ever had. Take that, Pixar Play Parade. We're going to get to that, Nikki B. Thank you for the reminder because I had forgotten, but I definitely want to mention that today. But before we do, Test Track, real quick, they are making progress on its canopy. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but it is coming along. Test Track opening up when? Spring?
Summer
2025. Rebecca, did you want to talk about the holiday drink at all? You're our food girl.
What did I want? Oh, over at the Coca-Cola store rooftop beverage bar location. It's funny. That's what it's called. The Coca-Cola store rooftop beverage bar. They have several holiday beverages. They're non-alcoholic. And so they're having some fun with Coca-Cola and various like holiday flavored syrups. Like one is Coca-Cola with cinnamon. So yeah, lots of fun up there. They also have a cookie butter chocolate milk drink. I think that's what we're looking at here. So not just alcohol, but non-alcoholic holiday treats up there at the rooftop bar there at Coca-Cola in Disney Springs.
Very cool. And over at Animal Kingdom, in the spirit of conservation, they have updated their paper experience guides. What's so funny?
I told you about. Did I tell you about the all-electric kitchen with the all-gas heating?
Yes. Yes.
So these are paper experience guides you can now get at Animal Kingdom, showing very animal experiences and the schedule, kind of like you used to get when you'd walk into a park, the entertainment schedule and stuff. But now it's all in the app, except at Animal Kingdom, where apparently, I'm not going to make any.
But what's nice about, I mean, look, I'm gonna soapbox.
I do like it. I'm
gonna soapbox just a little bit. The nice thing about this is a lot of kids can read, but don't have mobile phones, and so they'll pick this up. They'll look at it. Something will catch their interest, and they can be, "Hey, Mom, Dad, let's do this." Yeah. And that option had kind of disappeared with the reliance on mobile phones. So I kind of appreciate this because it once again opens that door to like child-led exploration or child-led family adventures in the park.
I absolutely love it and wish they still had paper maps as an option. You don't have to print that many. Most people don't want them, but as an option.
They do have it as
They
an option.
do.
You can get one.
They do.
Do they have them out, or you have to like go out?
They do at Disney parks. Other parks had really shied away from it, but even they are bringing them back again at other parks as well.
Okay, I know I've seen them like in the other languages. I don't recall just like walking through the tunnel and still seeing them over there. But
They
if I'm
do.
wrong, I'm happy.
They're not in the tunnel anymore. They're more centralized, but yeah.
Okay. 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 And that's all for Disney World. I did want to mention Mike. Oh my goodness.
Congrats.
How exciting is this, Mike? Tell us what's going on.
Longtime Laughing Place followers may recall that at Star Wars Celebration 2023 in London, I was able to appear on stage. What's so funny?
Super long time followers in 2023.
Yeah, a year and a half ago. So I applied again, and they confirmed me, accepted me, approved me again. And Who's the Boss? Laughing Place's Star Wars podcast, hosted by yours truly, will be back on the HoloNet News stage this upcoming April in Japan at Star Wars Celebration 2025. Very excited. I'm working on booking a guest as we speak, and that announcement should be made within the next month or so. But yeah, if you happen to be heading to Japan for Star Wars Celebration, please come by. I don't think we're ready to announce the timing yet either, but please come by and check out the show. I'd be glad to see you there.
Congratulations, Mike Celestino.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an honor. You know, like I treasure the program from the London event because my name is in it.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't digital. I'm glad they put it on paper, right, Mike?
Yeah, exactly. Let's hope it stays that way.
Can't hug a file. All right. Speaking of Tokyo, where Star Wars Celebration will be, they have previewed the costumes for Disney Pal Palooza. Vanellope Sweet Pop World Parade just rolls right off the tongue. There's Mickey, and there is Mickey again. There's Minnie, and I love these. These are adorable.
Yeah, there's so much fun coming out surrounding this event. So lots of fun. Merchandise, food.
Pal Palooza start?
January 15th, I think it said, right, dude?
I did not. I'm sorry.
Scroll back up.
I've got it open.
I'm just curious if I will be there for that because
January 15th to March 16th.
Yeah, no, because right before you get there is when they start their Star Wars promotions.
Yep.
Sorry, Mike.
And then there's going to be a music festival over at Disneyland Paris. We've got some information on that from a recent announcement. They're going to have like varying stages, like set up throughout the park. It sounds like different sets over at Adventureland versus Tomorrowland. So you can check out all the information in the links that I'm sure will be below.
And I'd just like to thank Disney Experiences for ensuring that somehow Laughing Place has to cover a new music festival at Disneyland Paris and Star Wars Celebration at the same time. That's going to be super easy. And we won't have any time zone issues at all. And I will never get any of these timing things confused because that'll be super fun.
You're welcome. And then a little
all
bit
corners of the globe at the same time.
The sun never sets on Laughing Place.
That is true. Much like It's a Small World. The saddest news of the week: the world's smallest violin. The ski show at Legoland, Florida is closing, which will be the end of ski shows on this lake, which has had them since the Cypress Garden days. Some of the most famous entertainment in Central Florida are old. You can see old pictures of them doing like the pyramids and stuff on this very lake. And then when Legoland took over Cypress Gardens, they brought the water skiing shows back, and that was wonderful. And now they're gone. And
is it because that pirate hijack took all the skiers hostage?
Not gone. They're leaving. I don't believe that's the reason why. So the Orlando Sentinel reported the final day will be December 30th, 2024, with at this time no future plans for water ski entertainment, and truly sad.
Meanwhile, there's some 12-year-old water skier guy who's going to be like, man, this is my opportunity, and now I don't have a job.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, has that been taken over by AI maybe? Is that what's going on there?
Yes. I mean, they used to have a water ski show at the Marine World here, which is now Discovery Kingdom. Like I just thought it was like things theme parks did. I didn't know any better.
Goofy used to do it at Disney World.
Right?
Oh, I remember that.
All right. Anything else anyone wants to mention before we say bye-bye? Good.
Who's the Bosca later this week talking about Skeleton Crew episode 4?
Oh, that's very important.
Even
And
though mermaids ended at Disneyland in like the 50s, I remember wanting to be one when I grew up.
me
So,
too.
and it was like it had been canceled decades before I ever went to a Disney park.
Mike, are you going to be joining us Wednesday morning? Right? Skeleton Crew comes out Tuesday night? Or
Oh
Wednesday?
yeah, yes,
So-
it's Tuesday night, Tuesday
Yeah.
evening. So I'll come on the show,
Yeah, come on Wednesday
the
morning.
morning show.
Nice.
Yeah,
Tomorrow morning, we're going to have Tuesdays with Tony tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m., along with the rest of the regular morning show. So please like, subscribe, ring the bell. We also have Barely Necessities tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific and Disney Trivia Live tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Lots of fun stuff going on. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, ring the bell. And if you really,
Please.
really like us and have the money to spare, click that join button and support us directly. We appreciate it very much. Thank you to the three of you. Thank you to Mouse Fan Travel for your endless support. We appreciate it very much. And we'll see you all, Disney Parks Talk, next time. Au revoir.